Alright, so it's been a little bit since I've done one of these. So, first thing I want to say is thank you for everybody who has left a comment so far on the Snow White video that I did. And first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who's left a comment and really enjoyed the video that I did. You know, funnily enough, I was thinking about it because one of my struggles that I try to overcome by doing this channel is I struggle with the idea that, you know, who cares what I say, right? And I'm not saying, like, all of a sudden, like, I'm super important or anything. God, no, I am not. You know, this channel's a hobby, at best, you know? But, you know, I struggle with the idea of, like, you know, who's gonna care, right? You know, you put it out, there's millions of videos every day. You know, there's millions of people putting millions of opinions out every single day. So, what's another one, right? Especially for something as niche as this. And I mean, you know, that's why I like making these videos, is like highlighting something interesting that I like. You know, because there's so many videos about being negative and hating something and, you know, why something is the worst. You know, and I get it. Lord knows I get it. I grew up with, like, the angry video game nerd, nostalgia critic, that sort of thing. So, you know, so to put out a video where it's like, oh man, you know, here's this thing I like. I wrestle with the idea of, like, you know, who cares? But, you know, looking at the reception of this video, the Snow White one, I was pleasantly surprised with just how nice of a reception it got. You know, people giving me feedback, people, you know, just leaving very nice comments. And if you've been around for a while, you know, I say that like I have fans. If you've noticed the channel or been around it for a while, you'll notice that there's like a Ramblin series on here. The intention was to kind of make those quickly, but here's the thing, right? You can only have an opinion on something so often, and I don't want to be one of those kind of people that just churns out just quick rambling pieces. You know what I mean? I want to be able to, like, sit down and, like, put effort into something. And again, I understand I take a long time to make videos. And if you hear shuffling, by the way, it's because I have a list. I take a long time to make a video because I have a lot of things going on in real life. Now, I'm not going to get into what those are or anything like that, but, you know, I do. And, you know, on top of that, dealing with the anxiety and it's not anxiety. It's more self-doubt, you know? The self-doubt of, like, you know, nobody's going to care, so what's the point? You know, you can have a video that's hated. But to have a video that's, like, indifferent, you know, that feels worse. And, you know, the fact that I don't really have a schedule or I don't have a schedule or, like, a set list of topics, because I feel like as soon as I commit to something, right, then it becomes like a chore. And, you know, again, on top of everything else I do in real life, it kind of gets hard for me to, like, be invested in a topic for a long time. Like, you know, the Snow White one, I thought about dropping at one point. And I was like, no. I think for this one, it's a nice enough topic to just go ahead for the long haul on this, you know? So, you know, I've been thinking about my channel, because I've had people talk to me like, you know, hey, what happens if you get a sponsorship? Hey, you know, what happens? So, I want this channel. I'm gonna say all this, and I just know that like, if whatever, however, I become, like, big or whatever, you know, I get big, this will come and bite me in the ass, which I can just see it now. But, you know, this channel is more of, like, a place to experiment, and a place to just do something that I've wanted to do, right? I've always wanted to make, like, a channel where I can show things off. Like, I God help me, I have videos stretching all the way back, like, decades. And, they're hidden, in folders and things like that, of different channels, just wanting to show off things that I like, And I never got the recipe right. And I'm not saying I got it correct now, but I think I've lived long enough now to kind of get a better grasp on it. And, be a little more... be able to, like, sit down and really think about something that I like. And, I've been asked, like, hey, if you get a sponsorship, what happens? And I honestly don't even know. Because, again, this is a channel to experiment, to try different editing things. I'm not, like, the biggest editing whiz, And, that's fine. I don't believe you need to have, like, a video where, like, something is popping up every single second, Or, like, some fancy trick going on. I mean, I'd like to. Again, this is the place to experiment. But I don't really want this to be a job, because I've seen what happens to channels when this becomes a job. And it ruins them, And, not every single one, but you can always tell when somebody now has to do it as business. The quality starts to suffer, their anxiety goes up, their depression goes up. I tried doing something like that around COVID, where I wanted to make this into more of a, just try to do the YouTuber thing of, like, uploading, I don't know, every 2-3 weeks. And I was like, I am not going to be able to keep up with this. I wish I knew the video, but somebody said that a good critique cannot be made weekly. It has to be something that you have to sit and think about and ruminate on and really think about your points. I want to say it's like an H. Bomber Guy quote, but I'm not entirely sure. But, that's true. It's got to be something that like, like there's people that, like, go do the film review thing, and they come back, and they give their first impressions of the film. And I mean, there's a market for that, obviously. But I feel like it doesn't really do the same thing as, like, sitting down to listen to something that somebody is passionate about. And that's what I want to do here. Is that if I'm going to make a video, I want it to be something that I like, that I'm passionate about showing to people, and drawing thumbnails. By the way, I drew that thumbnail. I have a side video where I showed myself drawing it. Like, I wanted to make it a YouTube short, but I don't know how to do that from the desktop. So, I don't know. It just makes me feel so old. Considering I was around when YouTube first started, like, all of a sudden now I feel very, very old. Again, I'm very thankful for every comment. I wanted to mention two things. Some have mentioned about the live-action Snow White remake. I didn't go into it in the video, because, again, I don't care, The Disney live-action films, to me, are almost like nothing. It's like sawdust. It's just a thing that exists. Like, it's not going to take over the animated original, so what's the point? There's no point in getting mad over it. There's no point... I mean, if you like it, great. More power to you. But, there's... Lord knows, we've all seen thumbnails where somebody's railing against some live-action thing going on. There's no point. The other one, which was an interesting note, hey, a lot of people want to read this comic. It is a very good comic. I thought about bringing up, there was another comic. I want to say it was from Marvel. I'll probably post a picture here. This is more of like a listen in the background when you draw or do work or whatever. I'll post a picture here. There was another comic from Marvel. But it was more of a one-shot. I think it was the tie-in to one of the theatrical re-releases. The one that I have has ads for Beauty and the Beast, so I want to say that it was released around the 90s. I'd have to check, but I have that one. There's not really that much to note about it, except like the prince gets a little bit more to do. He has like an escape scene, but I digress. So, to kind of conclude, I guess I want to state the mission for this channel has always been to explore, to experiment, and to see what I can do. And hey, if I get one subscriber or one comment, or hell, even if somebody just watches the video unprompted, that's enough for me. Because I really appreciate that when people decide to just watch this video, as much as they want to. But to even just, consider it is, enough for me, right? So, yeah. No, again, thank you very much. I don't know what the current plans are. I do have 2 video topics in mind, but, of course, all of it can change. I don't even know if I'll have a video out for December. I don't know, maybe another ramble or something. But, I do have something in mind that I want, and I don't know what 2025 is going to look like. I do want to do more videos. But at the same time, if I try and rush this, all of a sudden it becomes a big nightmare. So, again, thank you very much, and I hope you are having a great day.